This video is truly fascinating. It's a union leader by the name of Richard Trumka, and he gets tripped up over Biden's record. So let's take a look, and then we'll break it down.
In his first hours as president, Joe Biden announced that he was going to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline. And the Labourers International Union of North America put out a statement saying that it's going to cost 1,000 union jobs. Can you explain why the president was right?
Well, I wish he hadn't done that on the first day, because the Labourers International was right. It did and will cost us jobs in the process. I wish he had paired that more carefully with the thing that he did second by saying, here's where we're creating jobs. We can do mine reclamation, we can fix leaks, and we can fix seeps and create hundreds of thousands of jobs in doing all of that stuff.
You think Biden realizes that that was a mistake, that announcement?
I think so, yes.
Did you talk to him about it?
I have not.
Why do you think
And if I had, I wouldn't tell you.
So why do you think he has come to that realization?
Because the next time the subject came up, it was done the right way.
When you said that the Labourers International Union was correct in their statement, I want to read you part of their statement. They said, "We support the president's campaign to build back better. Killing good union jobs on day one with nothing to replace them is not building back better." Do you agree with that statement from Terry O'Sullivan?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate your straightforwardness. Do you think Biden will shut down, will cancel additional pipelines?
I don't know. I know this: if he does, he'll pair it with job creation. That will be greater than the number of jobs lost.
How comfortable are you with Biden's plan to ban fracking on federal lands?
I think it needs to be looked at and studied and carefully thought through. I think the future of the country should be considered in that process.
Okay, but he says he's going to do it. So
No, he didn't.
he's promised to do it.
I'm sure if he promised to do it, he probably will, because he
Right.
promised to shut down XL, and he did XL.
Right. I guess what
He's
I'm
a man,
asking...
he's a man of his word.
Okay,
But he's
so-
also promised to create jobs,
Right.
good union jobs, and be the best union president that we ever have, and I believe he'll do that as well.
That was great. I love how awkward all of that was. But it's an interesting conversation because, you get to the core of, a fight and a contradiction within Democratic politics, which is the Democrats are nominally supposed to be very pro-union, but they're also nominally supposed to be pro-environmentalist. And sometimes there is a clash of the interests of one and the other. There are going to be unions who support building the Keystone XL pipeline, building a number of other pipelines. They're going to be pro-fracking because of the job creation and the wages and the benefits. And then, of course, environmentalists are going to say, no, we can't do these jobs because we need to get off of fossil fuels and we need to fight back against climate change and pollution and all the problems that are associated with these effectively dirty jobs, if you will. So overall, I actually kind of agree with Richard Trumka here in the sense that if I'm Biden, the way that you need to package these things and the way that they need to be sold to the public is exactly like he described, which is for every job that we're effectively eliminating in one industry, there's another job being created in another industry. And, it should be similar pay, similar benefits, good union jobs. So, yes, for every time you do some sort of executive order or you kill some pipeline or, do something that's going to cost jobs, even if it's, as they said, in one of these instances was 1,000 jobs, it should be paired with at the exact same time, and here's what we're going to do to replace that. So that's how you approach these things, because working people need to understand that they're not going to be abandoned, and they shouldn't be abandoned. And unfortunately, if you lead with the ideology, then it's very easy to start making political enemies quickly. if people get the sense that you care more about ideology than improving their lives in that moment, then you're going to lose them. And so while I do think Biden, by the way, is correct on killing the Keystone XL pipeline, on banning fracking on federal lands, I think it makes sense to ban it not just on federal lands, ban it nationwide. There are tremendous downsides to it. Increase in earthquakes, water being poisoned. There's so many negatives that are associated with it. It's banned in my state, and I'm happy it's banned in my state. It should be banned nationwide, but again, that needs to be paired with, and here's how we're going to do job creation. And this is where, the Green New Deal comes in play, for example. A lot of people like to focus on the green part of the Green New Deal, but, I always like to put the emphasis on the New Deal part of the Green New Deal. What if we created hundreds of thousands or millions of jobs, rebuilding our infrastructure and getting off of fossil fuels and getting towards the energy of the future? I mean, it can be looked at not as a downside, not as a detriment, not as something that's, a hurdle to get over, but it can be embraced as a job creation, wealth creation program. And so I kind of agree with Trumka that you always want to pair these things together so working people know I'm on your side no matter what. You also should, of course, be on the side of the environment and reasonable regulation, no doubt, but you need to pair them together so that the message is clear up front. And I do think this is a rare area where I think Biden actually gets that, and he will act more like that in the future, where you pair it with whatever you're doing that would kill jobs, you pair it with something that creates jobs. So, but either way, I love this exchange. I think Jonathan Swan, or whatever his name is, does a good job there. But he is clearly trying to, create a wedge and a rift between the unions and Biden, which, by the way, isn't too hard if you look at Biden's record, because he's no Bernie Sanders when it comes to trade deals, for example. Biden certainly had way more union support than Trump, but, he's no Bernie Sanders. He's kind of in many ways a standard neoliberal Democrat, but he has the cultural aesthetic of, I'm helping the working guy. You know what I mean? I was going to say in a similar way to Trump, but Trump only half has that because he's billionaire with the goofy hair and all that shit. But he did the fake populist shit, right? In the case of Biden, he's got that, old Uncle Joe flair to him. So he's got the aesthetic culturally of being aligned with union types, but, his record is mixed to say the least.